each other's mental space. If you ever need me, just call. I'ma come running, give it my all. Love is love, God wins. Keep your vibrations high and watch how your blessings.
And the agency is going to stop other people's pages. First of all, the agency can't even look at other people's pages unless they're a part of that agency too. So when you go to your agency and you tell them to look up a name of an account, unless that name is already a part of their agency, they can't really do nothing, right? And furthermore, an agency will tell you, hey, we protect your live. So if your live go down, that's what we can protect. We only can protect your live. And if your live go down, it allows us in a double appeal process, right? So if someone's out there telling you that they're going to get in touch with their agency to try to take your page, so on and so forth, first of all, that's a false representation for agencies, right? And if you have an agency, that means you are your own agent. If you have people up under you, then you are an agent. So how are you getting in touch with your agent in order to try to do something? That means you're not on backstage. That means you're not on TikTok backstage. That means that you are lying about who you are. See, before I do anything, I like to go check certain things, right? I like to go check out certain things, right? So because I do have access to TikTok backstage, because I do have access to certain rooms, when you are an agent on TikTok, you have access to certain things, So there's actually a separate place that agents go to talk and send messages to each other, so on and so forth. So needless to say, this persona of a character is going around doxing people, fraudulently making it seem like they have an agency protecting their madness and protecting the bullshit that they're doing. And that ain't the half of his warpath. But, in order for us to speak on this, we got to pull everyone up to, what's been going on with the Ash situation, so on and so forth. So we do have some clips over here. If you're on the YouTube page, you're going to get to see an interview on the YouTube page or the Twitch page. If you're over on the Twitch page or the YouTube page, you're going to be able to see the interview. If you're on the TikTok page, you'll just be able to hear it. But let's get into this. If you don't know who this person is, worst mom on TikTok, so on and so forth, literally didn't buy no beds for her kids, got her kids in a bop house, which is connected to, basically online trafficking and other, things as far as, whatever that it is, fans only, OnlyFans, whatever those accounts are. So you have a lot of people that's questioning her mothering skills, the fact that she's, dating the teenagers that her daughters are introducing her to. Now, in the Latino community, this is going crazy. Like, this is like on fire in the Latino community. So I can imagine her being allowed to platform, on a Black person's platform, and that male is protecting her. I know y'all feel like y'all can't say nothing to him. One, he's a male, and he's a man, and then two, he's in the Black community. So y'all don't know what y'all don't want to start nothing with the Black community. Let me tell y'all that we don't condone this type of activity in the Black community, not even messy TikTok. If you are a neutral host, a neutral party, then you let the people come up and you let the people speak. You let the people ask their questions. You favoring one side of this, talking about she's 10 out of 10. She's only 10 out of 10 for your numbers. The fact that your numbers did good, right? And I want to have a conversation with you. I'm not the type to duck conversation, right? I'm not hiding behind anything, right? Gladly show my face on here, right? So when it comes down to a DJ Hustle, you sat there and you did something for the numbers. You don't have integrity. You don't have a sense of any type of moral compass, right? The same people that helped you is the same people that you're tearing down. Your mods is going to find out the hard way that you're a user, right? All of these other people that's on your platform, they know that you're using them. You're letting people come up and talk, and then you're trying to make it seem like you're neutral. Oh, don't direct that at me. Oh no, I'm too gangster for this. Oh no, that's not how shit go down over here. Well, you might not know how shit go down, but we gonna learn you. We gonna learn you now. You wanted to be so, famous. You wanted to be out there. You wanted to be heard. We gonna hear you now. Messy TikTok got it. And see, one thing, Messy TikTok knows that I don't just regularly come and talk about stuff, right? I'm moon, stars, and quasars. I want to talk about moon, stars, and quasars. So they know 9 times out of 10, when I start to do this and I pick somebody that's been doing it, it's because you've been fucking around a lot of people for a long time now. Treating people however you wanted to treat people on TikTok and making it seem like you a boss of all bosses, and you don't even do the research for yourself. I looked into your live. I watched you all live last night from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning. I watched you have nothing to say. You just played a recording, right? You let everybody else talk. You let your mods talk for you. You cursed people out that was telling the truth. You blocked everybody that was saying that they was team Chloe, or was it team Carol, right? Everybody that said team Carol, you blocked them, right? So that means you got a hidden agenda. You got your mods blocking everybody that's speaking against it. You got, you're sitting there going against everybody. Oh, she's in the comment section. Y'all can ask her a question. Y'all can ask her a question. She's in the comment section. And all y'all doing is watching for the numbers to see if the numbers spike or not, right? So you're probably going to go live with it. These people are so predictable, right? He's probably going to go live again today at 8 o'clock, right? He's probably going to go live again today at 8 o'clock tonight, right? And act like he just wants to be done with this subject. This is my last live about this, da-da-da-da-da. I'm trying to move on to this, and I got this to talk about. I got so much other stuff to talk. Lies. Lies on top of lies on top of lies. DJ, you have nothing to talk about. The only thing you have to talk about is what people bring you. You're not interested in the truth. You don't operate with integrity, right? I heard you say last night that this woman, Ash, is a 10 out of 10. She's a top model. What? The same person who somebody who was fornicating with her had to put a blanket over her whole body just to get off. You saying she's a 10 out of 10, a top model? That's how you know. You just say anything to whoever gonna bring you the numbers. If I come over to your live and bring you the numbers, you probably start glazing me. If I popped up on your panel and was bringing you numbers, you'll glaze the shit out of me. Anybody who brings you numbers, that's who you gonna glaze. You gonna glaze those numbers. Let's be honest. You're not a real person to us. You're not a real person to us because you're a number glazer, right? You glaze whoever bring you the numbers. To lie and say that woman was a top model, 10 out of 10. Listen, she's getting work done on her body because she don't even like herself. And you sitting there lying, making it seem like she's just the best stuff in the world. Cut it out. You a fraud. All right, let's take a listen to some of this.
But people would say that
because we are on YouTube. My YouTube would like to know who this person is and so on and so forth. So we got to take a listen. I know we listened to this yesterday on Quantum's page. I heard it over there on her page, but I want to bring this to the YouTube. I want to bring this to the Twitch. I want to bring this to my other platforms so they can know the type of people that we dealing with. You know what I mean? The type of monsters that's coming out of our community. These fake ass people, and they want us to get behind them. They want us to rally behind them. You are not a leader. You are not the face of somebody that should be an influencer on TikTok or any other platform. You have no integrity. You have no type of charisma about you. Like there's nothing about you that says stand up guy. There's nothing about you that says stand up guy. When I watch you dock somebody's address because your butt hurt that person didn't bow down to you, that lets me know you are not any type of honorable or nothing. You try to use your backup page to dock somebody's address because you're hurt because that person don't want to kiss your ass. Yeah, it's a special place for you.
Grandparents majority of the time.
Well, they the little one does live with me, but recently she went back for a bit. But my parents helped me raise them after me and their dad split up. So, of course, whenever you're kind of raised by your mom and your grandparents, you kind of fall into like a grandparent's baby, so to
Right.
speak. And so, um, I've never been the one to be like, no, you can't go to their house. If that's where they feel more comfortable at, then why not? But I still legally have custody of my kids. I've never lost custody of them.
So you do have full custody of your
Yeah, I
children.
have full custody of them. Yeah.
Okay, and why do you think
hold other people of color accountable. That's the point here, is to hold people in our communities accountable instead
Right.
of making excuses for them.
And she said she wasn't about to work for no Indian people, so she quit the job because the job sold to Indians, or the new owners was Indians. And then she made that statement, and then she was making the racial statements to her own people. She said the only reason why she got with Max is because she thought that he was a white boy.
She also repeatedly said the N-word before and after coming on his panel. He's a black man, and her using the N-word as a derogatory term doesn't affect him.
That's what I'm saying. He don't have no integrity. He see those numbers that he did on November. From the time he got, 1 million likes or 1 million views on that November live that he did, and then he did like 3 more lives going up to like December 19th or something, where he was hitting like those numbers. He didn't care nothing about none of that after he hit those numbers. He didn't care what type of person she was. He didn't care if she was selling babies on the black web. He didn't care.
He didn't care because I actually went on the first live that he did with her, which was literally less than 24 hours after her birthday party, where she was online making a racial comment about any and every ethnicity, anybody from the Mexican community to the black community. She was making comments about that. When I got up on his panel, I tried to approach him in the nicest way that I could, because I already knew that he was dropping anybody and everybody that wasn't fitting the narrative that he was trying to project that day. So I thanked him when I first went up there, and I tried to talk as I tried to dumb it down as much as I could for him. And I came with receipts, and I advised him, hey, I have receipts ready to go right now to play for you. And he still dropped me because
I remember
the narrative.
even last night, people were coming up and trying to give him like a certain level of respect and tell him like, look, we're closer to this than you are. Like, we know more about this than you do. We've been following this longer than you. Remember, this story was just dropped in your lap. Your mods brought you this and said, this might be something good to talk about. You yourself said, I don't know nothing about this. But then after you seen the numbers start adding up, now all of a sudden you know more about this, and now you want to do a live about, like, that's the narrative of this person, right? And even the people that was close to him, that was telling him like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this, so on and so forth, he got rid of them.
Yeah, because there was one mom, I can't remember her name, and she told him, like, hey, I really need you to check your inbox. I really need you to pause and check your inbox. There's way more to this than we know. And he was just saying he didn't have time for that right now. There was no time for that.
And then I had went up and I had asked a couple questions, and his mom just kept telling me it was none of my business, or that it was because he could.
The mod said they don't care. I heard them last night. We don't care about that. We don't care that her daughters are sleeping on the floor. We don't care.
It's because she's drunk. Because she's drunk, it excuses all her behavior. That
It was her birthday. She should be allowed to wild out, is what he said.
Exactly.
But I want y'all to think about that. That's because that's monsters protecting monsters. When you know that you want to do some dirt in this world, you're going to protect the people that's doing dirt in this world. See, he knows he wants to do some monstrous things in this world. He knows that he wants to exploit women. He knows that he wants to sit online, bash women, and make it seem like that's the normal thing to do. But his real issue is not with y'all. He's got mama issues. Whatever took place when he was a kid, whatever his mom put him through, that's what makes him not like women, especially, women of color, you know? So that's why you're watching, him go through what he go through, is because you guys are getting the punishment from whatever deep issues he's going through inside himself.
So before everybody came, before he brought Ash in there, me and Bacon, I came up on his feed because I saw the picture of the poster he had of Ash. So I was like, oh, okay, this new person, never heard him talk about her. So I went in there and I was like, let me kind of hear him out. He was like asking, like, what do you guys know about this woman? Like, tell me about her because I'm new to the lore. And we were trying to educate him and give him, like, places to go and kind of get in that rabbit hole to see what, she was about. So I thought he was going to be, like, cool about it. So I was like, oh, damn, like, finally a man is going to speak up about her, and we're going to get, like, better, kind of like a narrative of people understanding the lore. I'm like, okay, not a biased person. He doesn't really know. But, like, all of a sudden, he, like, changed his everything. And, like,
Because he fell for the lore. He fell for it.
Exactly. They had no, like, business being up here without knowing shit about her. I'm sorry.
Think about it. Like, if you're a neutral party, if you're just trying to learn about something, then the best thing you could do is allow other people to tell you, about that, right? But when you don't have no creativity, when your page is not really dedicated to your level of creativity, your backdrops, someone made them for him. His mods made them for him. He's not showing himself. He's not the one with the gift of gab, with the ability to talk or articulate anything. He's allowing other people to do that, and he's reaping the benefits from it just by being the host. So that's why a lot of times you'll hear him say, I'm not going to answer anything. I'm going to let this person answer it and clip it, answer it, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean?
And one of his ex-mods did say that and did back up that statement that you just made. She said it days before this. So that's 100% truth in my opinion too.
He's using everyone else, like, to make it seem like it's called intellectual properties. He's stealing other people's intellectual properties and making it seem like he did the research or the work himself.
Other people have spoke on different panels regarding this man too, that they, he makes comments like, hey, well, send it to me, show me your proof. And there's one girl, I don't know who it was, but I remember she was talking yesterday on a panel that he still hasn't opened any messages that she sent him on that original night. He doesn't care to learn. He just wants to reap the benefits. But what he doesn't understand is that, like you said earlier, the majority of us on this panel right here, I know, except for maybe the last girl, but all of us have been in this lore for over a year. And I don't want to say lore because we've all made our bonds with each other. We all grew with each other, but all of us have been around for some time now, and he doesn't understand that the Ash effect is real. This is
that would be like me. Like, that would be like me just now learning about it and taking a side over someone who's been dealing with this for the last 6 years. He's been on the internet since 2019 or 2019, 2018, something around that. She started gaining from being a inmate's wife. That's why she's called the inmate hopper, right? So, like, for someone who knows the Lord, first of all, we looking at the kids in the situation. If you are in that type of lifestyle, that means you're putting, unalivers around your kids, people who want the prison for unaliving people, unaliving teenagers. These are murderers, unalivers, right? So you're putting that type of people around your kids when they're fresh out of jail, right? That didn't make no sense to me when I heard that part.
She never makes it except for one. There was only one that made it out of jail and into their home. But that's not even the tip of it, sir. Like, she's offered her children to men before. There are clips out there where she has offered her oldest to a man, and there's people in here that could vouch for seeing that clip as well too. This woman has no limits. She's
Well,
below
the youngest really feel like she sold her, like the youngest said, like even in the interview, she was like, you know, you pretty much sold my medical history. Like when I was sick, you sold me for a galaxy. Like you told people if they wanted to know about my health, it's a galaxy. She remembered the name of the top gifter that did it, right? So like, and then you have the Max situation. Max was one of her top gifters. So then the lady asked her, like, so you're just going to, you know, be with whoever your top gifter is.
Well, that photo that you put for a second with her and Santos, the way she found out about Santos was because he was one of her daughter's crushes. He was only 19. She got on DJ's live and said that that she didn't know that he was this age. No, we all watched.
Oh, so this was the one that the daughter told her she should do a duet with, or she should do a live with. Yeah, and then she went and said, okay, let me reach out to him, so on and so forth. And then she ended up in a relationship with him.
So he was 19. We all knew he was 19. We all knew he was using a stolen valor. She wants to get on that live and she wants to tell her story that she didn't know. She didn't know. How did she not know? But yet we all knew. She knew what was going on the whole time, and they only got caught was because that night that he showed up. They didn't ask him for no social security number or anything like that. Excuse me. We all watched it in real time on live. He got caught because he tried giving a fake ID. But the thing is, though, is that we don't know exactly on this, but we do kind of have our suspicions that at that time she was living in Ennis, Texas, which is a very small, secluded town, and she or her father may know somebody, because no matter what was going on, this woman was not getting arrested. Even that night that he showed the fake ID, that man didn't get arrested. So they have their little tell.
Must be that England blood.
Yeah.
We all, well, a lot of the.
And they do say that Texas justice is different. You know, they handle the law different.
In this case, a lot of people went to the Ennis Police Department FB page and were commenting about how like outraged we were because nothing was happening. She's clearly violating laws and nothing was happening.
And even more recently, didn't she just get locked up for fraudulent schemes recently?
Yes.
Okay, so that lets you know right there, like if she's, you know, getting in trouble for fraudulent schemes, what do you think she's doing online? You know, grifting and getting the currency that she's getting. It's all part of a bigger scam.
She's not reporting her income.
Well, they're going to get that, you know, tax IRS. See, that's one thing about this. When I had signed up for an agency on here and I had became an agency or however you look at it, after I went through all of that, because you got to become under an agent before you become an agent, like they take your social security number. Like this is attached to my social security number. Like I got to file taxes behind this account and my YouTube accounts and everything like that. So they follow that paper trail. See, a lot of people get away with it to a certain extent. And then soon as income tax and stuff come around, that's when you'll see them start shifting around their accounts, lying and saying that they lost an account and you got to go follow this new account, so on and so forth. That's just to duck the paper trail.
And she's still breaking the law to this day. Just last week on her birthday weekend, she's not supposed to be drinking. She was propped up with a pew-pew. She's just not following the rules at all.
Well, the rules don't apply to her. You know, she's a celeb or however she wants to look at it. In her mind, see, this is why they allow and they favor these type of personas, is because the image that she's portraying, you know, a mother that's more of a friend to her kids than a parent, right? The fact that she still didn't buy them a bed, you know, we're 2 years after this interview, and I think those babies still don't got a bed in her house. I haven't seen like any of her recent lives because now she's trying to act like she's not showing the kids rooms and she's protecting them.
So not to interrupt, I'm sorry. So the kids don't stay with her. Like, we really don't like to speak on the kids because at the end of the day, they're minors. But I will like just touch on this real quick just to catch you up. So the kids never really truly lived with her. Yes, when she had that apartment in Ennis, they would come and stay time to time, and that's mostly where the whole she didn't want to buy them beds come from, because they would come and stay over, and she didn't have anything to offer for them. They slept in the living room. She did have an air mattress, but Santos, the one in the picture, kind of like exposed her for having a really really bad air mattress that had to be, you know, duct taped, patched together. They've predominantly always stayed with her parents. So when they say that, like, oh, she doesn't have custody of her kids, nobody's been able to find, or I think care to look to see that. But there has been times where she was on live in the beginning saying that a CPS worker had stopped in, and that they did have to make like a secure case, a secure plan for the children. But they've never really predominantly lived with her.
Well, I get that part, you know, and like you said, you know, we're not going to speak on the kids too much, but I'm speaking from the perspective of a parent, right? No
Yeah,
matter
for sure.
what, no matter what, you know, if my kids is staying, if they're half with their mom or half with me, or if I just get them on the weekends, or if I just see them from time to time, no matter what, as a parent, my kids is going to have a room and beds and stuff in their house, in their room, for when they do come over. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not talking about like, you know, they're not being there and there's a justification behind it, whatever the case may be. I'm talking about from the mindset of a parent, right? The first thing you're going to say is, I got to make sure my baby room is good. I got to make sure that, you know, she's got the stuff in her room for when she come over. It don't matter if they not there. You know what I mean? It don't matter if they coming with CPS visiting from time to time. It doesn't matter. A real parent is going to make sure that their child has a room for the time that they're there. It's not like, oh, you get to share the room with my boyfriend or my roommate when you're here. No.
Well, and they were sharing an air mattress. It wasn't even two. She couldn't even buy them two air mattresses. It was two girls on one mattress.
Yeah, it was really bad because even some other creators had sent them beds, and she didn't accept them either for them.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's a torture program. That is literally when you're keeping people in this whole like, I had it like this, so you got to, and that goes back to the mindset of her, right? Maybe, you know, in the house with their parents, maybe her kids got away with too much stuff. So when she got her own place, she was going to show them the rough life. You know, this is how some people think. Like, and it's sad that we watch this happen, you know, with women and their daughters, or men and their sons, this secret competition, secret jealousy. You heard her say that she was jealous of her daughter's numbers, that her daughter was about to hit 1 million. You know, can you imagine you putting your kid onto TikTok and they blow up faster than you, or get more numbers than you, or whatever? Like, she's in competition with her kids more than she is a parent.
Oh, that's very obvious, because she even went on live one night and expressed that she would physically harm her child because she felt that her then husband, their father, loved them more than her. So she was very clear with that. That's where she really hit the peak of a lot of people starting to realize who she was and starting to show more hate towards her, was when she came clean with that. And she was drunk. She was inebriated on live.
Somebody like that will literally say that you're like, they will literally allow a man to do stuff to you and say that you were trying to take their man away from them after you've been sexually assaulted. That's what that is right there. Like, when you can't differentiate like the you know, you don't have no difference. Like, you can't separate me as your daughter and the relationship that I would have with my father from another woman having a relationship with your father. Something is mentally off with you when you can't see the separation from your daughter and, you know, actions towards a man's, and then a regular person actions towards a man. When you start looking at your own daughter as competition with your man, right? You open up the door for all types of stuff, because you got to think about it. Somebody like her will let things happen to their kid just to try to keep the man.
Absolutely. I've said before, I wouldn't put it past her to end up in a like snapped episode, or like first 48, over the attention from a man, over the male validation
versus like with her daughters.
That's the type of mom that you go to and say, "Mom, your boyfriend or whoever touched me," and she'll say, "You don't want me to be happy. You trying to push, my man away from me." All of that. That's that type of mom.
When she was on live recently, I think it was either November, December, just recently, right? With Max Bean of No One Other, right? He asked her if they planned on moving. When they move, would she be bringing the girls to move in with them? And she flat out said no. No, they won't be moving in with us. And she says, oh, well, they're doing fine with their grandparents and this and that. But that's crazy. Like, you're shirking all types of responsibilities as being a mother.
But I think that's a good thing, though. If she already knows she sold herself to darkness, and she already know the things that's probably why they're backing out on her, is because the deal probably wasn't for her. The deal probably was for the kids, and now that she's getting the fame and the recognition, she's trying to push her kids off to a safer place. But really, they want the kids. That's who they want. That's why they got them in a bop house. Part of the agreement probably was her bringing those kids to do the interview. That's probably the only reason why she got the interview in that bop house, was because she had to bring them girls.
Oh, for sure. And then you have her oldest daughter. I don't know if it's her account or not, but her oldest daughter might be on here, and she's always like, I'm so sad, like I miss my mom.
You said her oldest daughter is saying she miss her mom?
Yeah, like she'll go on here and like it has like a lot of following, and it'll be like old pictures, and she's like, I miss my mom. Like I just wish my mom would like be like the mom that she was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's saying she miss her mom because she don't recognize this new person.
Exactly.
A lot of people become these for personas that they create online, and then the next thing you know, she's the character Ashley, character Ash, instead of like the mom that they know. Like, you let this character become you. Sorry, I'm trying to clean out my dang phone speakers. So low, volume so low, so dusty. Sorry about that. But y'all see what's going on. Like, I've seen a lot of people trying to speak up against this, but this is the narrative that they want to push on society. Society don't want this to be the ideal image, right? They gave every last one of us some messed up images in our communities, and it's sad. It's hitting the Latin community. I know y'all had other people in y'all community that painted y'all the wrong way, but it's nice to see like the mothers standing up, like, no, this is not the ideal mother that we want to portray. And I know how closely knit Latinos are, when it comes to that family thing. Ain't nothing like family, you know what I mean? You guys go through hell of extents to protect your family, keeps certain things out of the limelight when it comes to your family, or you're very family oriented. So I can imagine like this being portrayed as an image of y'all. I know y'all are like, hell no. Like, this is like infiltration, if you would say. Like, maybe she really is English and she's just portraying this image of Latino descent in order to tarnish you guys's family oriented preference. I don't know, but I know you guys are.
Emphasis of us, especially myself. Like, I would like to say I'm an activist when it comes to things that are going on in today's day. So to see somebody tearing us down that is supposed to be standing up with us, who has such a huge following, they could do it for good. It is very disheartening to me. Like, that's what really lights the fire for me, is it's like, man, you have all these audiences, and she's gone on live and admitted that her following is between the ages of 7 and 17, which is disgusting. And so she has all these impressions,
and she's dating them. She's dating these teenagers. Like, they're like lining up for their possibility, a chance of dating an older woman. You know what I mean?
It's weird. It's so, and her cameos, a lot of her cameos are purchased by parents for their children. Like, they're not even looking and seeing, oh, who this girl is. Why does my kid want this cameo from this woman? They're just doing it, and then she's laughing at them in their face.
You can see how much she lights up in her eyes and her face when there's an under 25-year-old in her presence.
I know I seen it. Like I never thought like, I know that there's a lot of maps, minor attracted people out there, and we hear about this, with school teachers, student dating a teacher, so on and so forth. But like to normalize this, like to constantly like put this person out there. And I thought it was strange with the whole David thing, when that TikTok singer David, and they kept on overlooking the fact that this was a 13-year-old or 14-year-old that he had unalived, and they were just like, well, that don't count because they were, in a relationship together or whatever. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, like why are they normalizing it?
What? You're normalizing this shit. You know what I mean? Like, see, back in the day, teenagers had to go through certain extents, get emancipated, claim their self as their own, guardian or whatever in order to go date older people or whatever. Or, you had certain states that made it 16 or whatever the case may be. But now, like looking at this, like even listening to her story about, did somebody tell her that story, or was that really her story? Like she was 16 years old and she told this woman that her 9-year-old son was going to be her future husband. So that means you were 16 years old with the mind of a 9-year-old because you were looking at a 9. This is weird. Like the whole story, how this, you're online telling this story. So you always had this infatuation with minors. You always had this attraction to minors, and you're out here normalizing the story, and other people are pushing it out, making it even more normalized, which is more sickening and detrimental to the future generations. And I'm very disturbed by it.
She openly broadcasts her feelings back then. She has it posted on her IG, a picture of him as a child in church, and she says it was their senior church party. So for her, it was her senior church party, but this kid was nowhere near your age.
That's what I'm saying. This is sickening. Like all around, like I'm disturbed by this, is because like that means you had a disturbed mind since a very young age. And you can't expect.
I want to bring up.
Go ahead.
Bring up her dad, but like it has to start from that too. You know what I mean? Her dad was taking her to the prisons to visit his friends while she was young.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I say it might go back longer than this. It might go back. This might be taught behavior. That's why it's okay. This is taught behavior, generational curses. She's not going to break this cycle. Just like taking her daughters to that bop house. You don't know, anybody could have pulled her daughters to the side and had a side conversation. Here, I'm going to pass you this number. I'm going to call you. Don't tell your mom. Whatever the case may be, you're putting your daughters in places where sick-minded people have access to them.
Exactly. Yeah. Going back before that as well, it wasn't even Ash that they reached out to for the interview. It was the oldest daughter who was a minor.
That's what I'm saying. That's why she knew that the oldest daughter had the more followers, and that's why when she was responding, she was like, well, your daughter said this, because she already got the information from her daughter before she did the interview with Ash.
And we know Ash's brain mentality is 15, 16. So to me, like, what if she's stuck in that 15, 16 because that's something.
And that's why Donald Trump is pushing for more mental health facilities and stuff. That's why you're about to see a increased growth in mental health facilities, because when someone gets stuck in their mind, maybe something happened to her at that age, right? And she's been frozen in that age in her mind where she can't get out the mind of a 15-year-old. Think about it. Even during the interview, she said, well, I had their dad, right? So you're still competing. You compared her numbers and views to the fact that you had their dad. Like, well, you might got those numbers, but I still had your dad. That's something that a girl would, like a girl would do in high school, dealing with another girl, like the boy is mine type stuff. You know what I mean? Like, well, you might be getting those A's and B's and you might be doing good in Miss such and such class, but guess what? That he belonged to me. Like that's a teenage mindset right there. With her daughters, you get what I'm saying? That's the type of rhetoric that she has with her daughters. That's weird to me. That you're still. Videos out there about him just so he can respond. I want to force him to respond. Have a conversation with me. Let's talk it out. Let's see. I'll give you 15 minutes. I'll give you 20 minutes. Whatever he do in 20 minutes, I guarantee I can shut him down in less than 5.
Switch that thought process into, maybe she's changing or this and that. He started glazing her. So
Well, look, this is what I'm saying. Like, if and I can tell you about feminine energy, right? Because we all have masculine and feminine energy within inside of our vessel, right? And I can tell you what I perceive or perspect from a woman, right? But I can't tell you about women. Women have to tell women about women because they operate in that feelings and emotions. Men are supposed to operate with logic. So we're supposed to have that. We're supposed to bring logic to the table, right? So to watch this man operate in feelings and emotions, to one, you don't want any men around to try to challenge you, right? That's a feminine energy right there to say, like, anybody who poses a threat to me has to go. But you allow a bunch of women on your panel to go ahead and argue while you sit there and play this. Yeah, you see all this. You see how they're just arguing over me and protecting me, and you a sucker. You supposed to be protecting the women. You is a sucker. You got a bunch of women arguing and protecting you while you sit there. That's a mama issue. That means you feel like they need to do the things that your mama didn't do for you as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we really get down to this, I will expose him to the max, all the way to the. He's somebody who sucked his thumb as a kid. I can tell by the bridge that's in his teeth. He's got that little.
Well, I got blocked because I told him he probably lives with his mom because of the way he talks to women. Well, good
Well,
morning. Thank you for letting me up. I want to say, Atlas, okay, I call him DJ Clout Chaser. He's a problem, yes. But I was on a chat that morning, so exactly last week, with his people. He wasn't there, but it was his people. And the way they were talking, oh, am I echoing?
you was echoing.
You were.
When I talk, it echoes, or somebody else talk. I don't know. We won't know until somebody else is talking.
Hear me better? Well, I just wanted to say it's not just him, it's his people too. Because the way they were talking about their ex-mod, they were talking about her kids, they were saying so many disgusting things. And Shy was there too. I was actually listening to Shy, and they were being so rude to her, completely rude. So it's not just him, it's his people. They have a guy that's like a pastor.
Oh yeah, that guy. When I went on his,
disgusting. They're
when I
just
went on
honest is.
But that's cult behavior. That's echo chamber behavior. I would rather deal with a group of collective where we all have our own individual thought, right? I don't want you to come up and be a yes person for me. I don't want you to come up and agree with everything I'm saying. When I watched over there in his live, the way that they were blocking everybody else that was saying like team, that means you're not a neutral space. That means you're not a space that people can come and get the truth out, right? That means you're biased in all of it, right? And if you're biased, that means you have a hidden agenda. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like you're sitting there and trying to make it seem like you want the truth out. You're trying to make it seem like you care about, these people. And really, you don't care about the people. Your hidden agenda is the numbers, right? To sit there and say that one person mindset should overrule the collective. Now, think about this. If one Latino is doing something, but the whole collective of Latinos is saying that this is wrong, right? For you to sit there and take precedent of that one Latino, that means that's how you view their people. That means you view their people in that image of what you credit in that one Latino for. Because I'm going to look at the collective and say, oh, okay, that's not what y'all about. Okay, well, yeah, you're the oddball out the crew. That's like saying that everybody else, that's like me having 100 messed up relationships and I'm the only what is it? The only damn it, I'm trying to use a big word again and it escaped me. Anonymity. The only no, that's not the one I want to use. Hold on. Come on with it.
See, and with the DJ guy, he don't do that. He would bring up race and he'd be like, oh, we don't bring up race. Well, this is why we're here, is because she's so racist.
Oh,
And it's not even towards Latino, it's towards
I want to say anonymity, but if I'm the only one in the equation that's been in all the relationships, eventually I got to start looking at myself and say, maybe I'm the problem. If I keep failing, relationship fail after relationship fail after relationship fail after relationship fail, eventually I'm going to have to say, you know, maybe it's me. But these people will never get to that because one word that's not in their dictionary, it's not in their vocabulary, and that's accountability. That word don't exist to them. That's like a prehistoric biblical word when they see accountability. Accountability, what's that? Is that like apostles or Paul? And they start thinking that they reading the Bible when they see accountability.
in this sense, they make the majority the common denominator when it's the other way.
That's the word I was looking for. Common denominator. I'm the common denominator in the equation. See that shit escaped me like that when I was trying to use it. And you just gonna bring it up all willy-nilly like that and shit. Like you knew I was looking for that word. You knew that was the word I was looking for. You knew it. That's why you said it, because you knew I was looking for that word. Huh? Common denominator. That's what it is. Dang.
See, and they're doing their math because they're making the majority the common denominator. Is the common denominator here with this. You got a bunch of people that all see the same issues with her. You're telling us we're wrong?
And why he don't see it? Why he don't see it? That's why I say, like, it goes back.
Getting the money now.
They tell us in the movies, right? If you ever go back and watch Mario Brothers, because I know a lot of people got kids and you probably took your kids to see this way back when it came out. It was a blue flame that was in the cage on Mario Brothers when everybody else was locked up, and the blue flame was just happy. They didn't know what the hell the blue flame was happy for. The blue flame was happy. And the guy said, didn't you just hear they about to kill us for the wedding? The blue flame's like, yes, yay, yippee. And they said, what the hell? And the blue flame said some of the most, like the most intelligent thing I heard. The blue flame said, in an insane world, it'll be the sane who is deemed crazy. I said, what the hell? And then sure enough, as you watch this world, you see the crazy being looked at as normal and normal being looked at as crazy. In this world right now, if you have a normal thought, you're crazy. But if you have an asinine, most redundant ass thought, think about it. She thinks about being with minors. She's 37 years old who wants to be with teenagers. They normalize that shit, right? DJ is a whole man, right? Who's putting himself in this equation for numbers. He literally has his mods out there scouting what's out there that people's talking about and then bring it back to him, and he tries to hold a panel about what people are out there. It's like a PR team. Yeah, but he's not willing to pay her again. That's why he can't get her back on the panel. That's why he just got to keep on replaying the old live of her. You know what I mean?
You know what that makes me think of? Have you ever seen that movie Idiocracy?
That's what, see, in Idiocracy, it was the dummy and the prostitute that ended up to be the smartest in the world. Everybody else they trying to grow crops with Gatorade. Like, and we're in that type of world now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. If anyone has ever seen that movie, please go watch it.
It came out in 2006, in 2026, in 2006. Yeah, 2006 it came out. It's called Idiocracy. But yeah, that's the type of world we live in now. Like, and like right now, like there's such a fight against knowledgeable people, intelligent people. There's no wonder why, if you name yourself Quantum, you probably gonna get attacked. If you on your page talking about moon stars and quasars, you probably gonna get attacked. Y'all see that I sit on my page, I either play the game or talk about moon stars and quasars. Don't nobody come in here to listen to moon stars and quasars, but they know I got the gift of gab, right? And whenever I do a page where I'm actually letting people have it, they push all the numbers into my live when I'm actually cutting into people, right? But if I'm talking about that moon stars and quasars shit, they will not push nobody in here. Let me start talking about conscious, and they is not gonna push nobody in here. But if I get on these, they're gonna push the numbers. Why? Because they know I'm gonna articulate some shit, I'm gonna make some shit make sense, and I'm gonna put ones and twos together. Well, you can't talk about nothing unless you know about it. Like, I used to get ass whoopings. My uncle and them, they used to whoop me. If I used a word that I didn't know the definition of, I used to get whooped. So I had to know the definition of words just to use them. So before you speak on something, you better go do your own research on it, or you find yourself like DJ over there, sitting there trying to, support somebody, knowing that the outcome of it is going to be more detrimental to your page anyway, because we see what type of stuff you supporting. That means you don't got the future of our kids in the best interest. You ain't trying to, because to think like I'm raising a son and then my son got to go out there and meet somebody like Ash that manipulates their mind because they're young. Hell no. Both my sons just graduated high school. They both 18. I can't imagine one of them running into an Ash. Hell no. We got to stop this shit now. I got boys out there that's got to, possibly run into something like this, manipulate their mind and fuck them over. Next thing you know, they done did some things and she holding the guilt over them of the things that they did because she's an adult who knows, about being intoxicated and falling victim to some stuff or whatever the case may be. Hell no. Can you imagine how many parties she about to have? There's Diddy parties and baby oil everywhere. Hell no.
So you're creating villain origin stories and shit out of young, impressionable growing men.
She reminds me of that woman in Scorned.
Have you seen that movie, Mom? When that hangs out with all the young children and gets them drunk.
Oh yeah, the lady who played the Minnie in The Help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that. She really just reminds me of the older woman in Scorned who grew up with a little son and then was also doing things with the dad.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I'll have to look it up.
It was an oldie.
Yeah, but that mom movie is she buys teenagers like alcohol and then starts hanging out with them. It's
Watching
pretty
also
good.
with teenagers. She's a grown woman entertaining teenagers.
Yeah, and then how did she meet Santos? Because it was her daughter's crush. Like, come on, that's crazy.
She's her daughter's biggest bully.
She has a very PDF mentality as well. Like her saying that the age that you're an adult in Texas is 71 backwards. Get out of my face. It is 18 years old as everything. But the fact that she's trying to make an excuse to make a young,
even at 18, there's such a maturity gap.
Yes.
It's not acceptable.
Exactly.
Well, if we look at the mind, right? Because your body age is different from your mental age. Your mind is 40 years to the youth. So the mind is actually in its youth for the first 40 years before it transfers into its Saturn mind, which then it's in its adult mind. But when you're talking about morals, when you're talking about different things like that, you have to look at the age of the mind. Now, this person that we're talking about is 37, right? Body wise, right? But her mind is 16, because she didn't grow in the mind. She stopped growing in the mind. She stopped that mental maturity growth. When you got somebody who didn't get out the house until they're, 30 something years old. This is her first time outside of her parents' house. That's what you have to look at. That's just like me turning 18 years old and moving out with my friends. The first thing you're going to do is get a roommate type of situation. She's not in a take care of her own house type mindset to where though she can get her own place, take care of her own place, so on and so. She's depending on a man because that's the type of person that she grew up to be, is to always, she's been waiting in the house for a man to come sweep her off the feet and move her in and do da, 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 da. Never gonna happen.
And she did say it when she first moved into her place that she doesn't know how to raise her kids because her mom and dad raised them.
Yeah, you can tell that she don't know how to raise her kids. You could tell she was friends to them kids.
Exactly. That would make you want to raise your kids more if you never had the opportunity. You know what I mean?
I remember when I met my baby mom. My baby mom had a daughter already, and she was 18 months. And the first thing I told my baby mom is, I don't want to get to know your daughter. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to get to know your daughter if I'm not going to be around for a while. I don't want to get to know any kid. And if you're going to use that kid when the relationship is over, you're going to use that kid to say, she's not biologically yours. You can't see her, all that stuff. I'm not playing the game with kids' heart. You know what I mean? I tell everybody this. If I'm in a relationship, I'm going to accept you for everything that you come with, but I'm going to stay firm with certain things because however this relationship goes, that kid has nothing to do with it. So to allow her to become attached to me and then make it seem like, oh, he don't want you no more. He don't want to be with you no more. He left us. No, I left your ass. She got nothing to do with it. So I told my baby mom from the beginning, I don't want to bond with her if you're going to snatch her away when shit don't go right with us, right? So, and then when I met my baby mom, my daughter was calling her mom by her first name and basically calling the grandma mom. So I told my baby mom, I said, you got to change that. Like, you, her mom, that's a title that you earn. We get so caught up in our, midlife crisis, growing old, not wanting to be labeled a grandma, not wanting to, these titles are earned. When you are parent, father, whatever it is, that's a title that earned. It's respect behind that, but you got to carry yourself as a father figure. I demand the respect of a father because I don't just father my kids, I father any kid you put around me. That type of man deserves the respect of a father. You get what I'm saying? So I don't I separate what is a baby dad from a father, right? I'm a father. I'm not a baby dad. Baby dad, sperm donor. Baby dad, drop it off and go. Baby dad, send you some money. No, I'm a father, right? So when you start to you start to make the difference between these titles, this is when you hold a certain respect for those who operate in these titles, right? I'm not giving you this title because it's just a title. I'm giving you it because your operation reflects that of what it deserves. I had to stop looking at my mom as a mom because you have to earn that title. I had to stop looking at my dad as a dad. That's a title you should earn. So when you're willing to strip these titles and give it to those who deserve them, then you'll change your life forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one title Ashley will never have because she doesn't know how to be a mom.
I don't think she ever wanted to be a mom. She said it herself. Those kids was a mistake. But she had those kids trying to keep a man.
And that's what it is. Now she's going on with this pregnancy skit with Fester, but her tubes are tight because she's the type of person that will get pregnant by a man to keep him. She would have been pregnant by Santos. She would have been pregnant by Fester a long time ago.
That's
She's
her
gonna
MO.
say an excuse to try and keep men before, oh, I'm pregnant, or then if that doesn't work out, she moves to, oh, get me. And she's just a mess. She's not only mentally stunted, she's intellectually stunted, she's emotionally stunted, she's very superficial, she's materialistic. You would think that her being able to go back knowing that she can be with her kids to sleep at her mom's or whatever, they never told her she couldn't come back. She said she didn't want to go back. She didn't want to be there because if she went back, that means that her daughters would be sleeping on the couch. In what real mother's mind are you making your daughters give up their room that they sleep in to sleep so you can
No, and then it was for her
in her mind, she's saying, I gotta be the most comfortable in the house. I put their ass on the couch if I move back to mama's house.
Yeah, exactly. And no real mom would do that. No real mom would.
You know, it's sad because, like, you know, for a long time in this world, you know, and I'm glad that, you know, other women are speaking out against other women, because it's like y'all had this code where y'all, you know, protected each other. And a couple of women still, you know, run by that code. But that's what I was thinking back in the day. I was like, man, women got this code where they just, you know, protect each other's, you know, messed up. You can go to another woman and be like, she did such and such, she did this. And she's gonna be like, well, she's a woman. She, you know, what did you expect? She's a woman, right? And it was like y'all was covering up for each other's bull crap, right? But once I analyzed it and realized that was how I was perceiving it, right? Once I realized, like, no, that's how you're perceiving it. Really look past the flesh. Don't look at it as women, right? Then you'll see the real monsters, right? It's low vibrational entities that is protecting low vibrational entities. Because soon as I accepted that it wasn't women, right, then I seen the real monsters in this world. But I also seen like the real women that was fighting behind closed doors for the integrity of, you know, womenhood, for, you know, to try to push out the Cardi Reds, the pop that pussies, the, you know, that wet wop, all of that stuff that was being pushed out there. Y'all still wanted to have a certain level of decorum, you know, with it. Yeah, y'all promiscuous. Yeah, y'all all wild and all of that stuff. But y'all still carried y'all self where it was like y'all wasn't showing everybody that wild side. Now, this shit is so up for grabs. You know, you might walk outside and somebody throw some cootie at you. It's so scary now. I'm scared. Y'all throwing cootie cat around like it's not. And maybe it's because it's a lack of men in the world. I don't know, but you know, cootie cat slingers is out.
Yeah, the value of her self worth is non-existent. She throws it out there a lot with singing her stupid song. You want to know how it smells? Her stupid new song, a song about your new. That's the only thing that you feel you have to offer a man. Nothing else. There are no wifey type.
Who convinced her to come out with a new song? Everybody else making songs about their coochie. I'm gonna make a song about the smell of my new. Like,
She made a song with Santos, and it's just a whole song about, I want no, give me your no, I want your no.
but that's what I'm saying. That means that it was structured. That means it was already planned. Like, get what I'm saying? Like, look, when you sign over your image, your likeness, whatever, like that's what they wanted her to portray, and she was cool with that. That's why they take the weak-minded. That's why people like her will easily rise to fame. It's because we know you can't think past go. You can't think past the sex chakra. So you the highest you gonna go is sexual like, well, he's got a penis, so he's got to put it somewhere. What?
But with Ashley, she's been that type that probably, you know, got bullied in school, never had friends. So when she started getting that type of attention, of course she's gonna run for it.
Yeah, but you see the daughters now, the daughters are regretting certain variations of it, or at least, you know, modesty goes a long way. I think the daughters are liking the attention. I think, you know, outside of their mom being a celebrity or whatever, they probably wasn't getting no attention at all, you
The
know.
oldest daughter, I mean, they had to leave school because they were getting bullied because of her.
Well,
And the oldest daughter is supposedly going to come out with like all her truth telling when she's 18.
yeah, of course, because by saying that, it keeps them in the limelight to be waiting for this 18 spill all or tell all, when really you live with your grandparents and you can just tell us the shit now.
Exactly.
Right? But to keep everybody, you know, dragged out, chasing her account for the next 2 years to see when she's going to spill this story, it's the same thing with the mom. You know, you had an interview where you could have exposed some of the stuff that you were truly embarrassed by, where you could have spoke truth, right? So to try to make it seem like we got to wait 3 more years for the truth is asinine and redundant. That's the same way as a episode when we was kids, you know, a TV sitcom. Stay tuned next week where we'll do and tell you the follow-up to hell no, we don't want to hear that shit no more. We want the truth now. Tell us now what the fuck goes on so we can try to stop it or help you. 2 years from now, ain't no telling what your ass gonna go through that's gonna make you alter, change, or second guess the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like potentially holding it over them, saying you better not say anything, or I'm not paying for anything you want anymore.
Right. Or open up the door for her mom to get some blackmail on her and say if you say anything. Or an NDA, you know, she might get before her kids leave the house, they might have to sign some NDA contracts or something, you know, that's going to protect it, you know, and that's what's going to stop it later on down the line. And they probably listening to this live right now, like, damn, that's a perfect way to, you know, they're going to come out and be like, well, our mom made us sign NDAs. Now we can't talk about it, but thanks for following for 3 years for this lie that was never going to come out to come out. If you don't think NDAs is about to start being signed, there's a lot of freaky stuff going on in and around this girl's life. And she didn't even start. She did secretly start like the OnlyFans stuff, but y'all ain't even get into the OnlyFans stuff. Why you think she ended up at a bop house? Because that's the introduction to the shit. And if they don't want her, then it's got to be the youngest daughter or one of the other daughters while they're still in their youth. This shit ain't about her. She gutted. She done up. She might as well just go back to inmate services. You know what I mean? But they want something more. The youth that she can bring in. Remember, she's telling people that her fan base is from 7 to 17, right? So that's what they want. That buffet. That's what they want to walk into, that buffet when they come over to her page. They want to walk into that buffet of young people that's attracted to her page. You get what I'm saying?
It's vast. It's large. She's got a young, impressionable fan base. If you want to
Well, think about it. If you on TikTok and you looking for some young people to, you know, whatever, take advantage of whatever the fuck they do, where you gonna go? You gonna go to a page like hers because she already announced that that's where the young people be at. And all you got to do is just watch them in the comment section, see which one talking the nastiest or the one click on their ass, and then next thing you know, send them a message, whatever the case may be. You get what I'm saying? DJ Old Yeller trying to set up his page for that too. That's why I say these people are sickening. You know, DJ Old Yeller trying to set up his page for that too. You know,
DJ's just nasty. He treats his moms with such disrespect. He treats everybody with disrespect. He tries to talk to people like they're stupid and like they're under it. You can just tell by the way he talks.
I haven't seen him talk to a man like that, though, only women.
he ain't gonna talk to a man like that.
They all change it up when
As soon watch, I'm gonna prove to y'all today. When he go live tonight at 8, whatever time he go live, I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna try to come up on the panel. I want y'all to see how fast he either gonna get me off and watch. I'm a play nice. I ain't gonna do no crazy stuff. I ain't gonna talk crazy or nothing like that. But watch how fast he either change his tone with me, because I'm gonna tell all the ladies straight up, I'm not up here to speak to no ladies. I know that y'all have strong opinions on this. I know that y'all, but I want to hear from DJ Huskell. You know, that's who I want to hear from, DJ Rascal Flat.
He'll block you.
I know. He's going to be, as soon as I say I'm up here to talk to I ain't talking to you. I ain't got to respond to nobody. I ain't got to say nothing to nobody. I ain't got to da 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 da. That's exactly what he gonna go with. Sucker shit, straight sucker shit. Don't compare him to Rascal Flats. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like he's telling people that he's going to open a box to ask questions. But how the freak are we going to ask questions if when we go to ask the question, you say the person ain't here to answer the questions? So it's asinine or redundant to say that you're opening up the panel for us to ask questions if the person that's here not answering the questions. And then the people who you do say is going to answer the questions, all they say is, we're not here for none of that. We're not here for none of that. Then what the fuck is y'all here for? Just clout.
It's clout.
That's
And
it.
his words also speak for him a lot. Like he won't speak sometimes. Like if you catch him in a lie, or he also start talking for him. And he doesn't have to say that. He doesn't have to do that. Stop attacking him. He's just here. He's just here. It's just a mess.
And the mods is perfect because they all baby and cater to each other. It's like, don't talk to him like that. Okay, I'll talk to you like that. And then she'll pop up. Don't talk to her like that. Okay, I'll talk to all of y'all like that. We'll just get you up out of here. Shut up. That's all y'all think is kicking somebody out the space stops them or takes away their opinion. No, I still got my opinion and I still think how I think. I'm just not allowed to think it over there, right? You're gonna get blocked. Yeah, lovely. You're gonna get blocked. If you try to speak truth, if you try to speak your mind, if you try to speak, you're gonna get blocked. You could tell that they are those type of people. I literally got up at like 3 something in the morning. Like after I went to sleep, something told me like, just get up. You know how when you get up, you just grab your phone and scroll. So I like it was like 2 something in the morning. And I see this dude still holding alive, playing the same recording over and over again at 3 something in the morning. Then when he see me come in the room, that's when he's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna get some sleep. I didn't want to talk about this as long as we talked about it. I wanted this to be the last live, but I'm gonna do one tomorrow at 8 o'clock probably." You gonna milk this shit, drag this shit to the cows come home. That's the only topic you got right now that's bringing in numbers to your panel.
He had started his live at like midnight and probably didn't end it till at least 6 or like 7 in the morning.
That's what I'm saying. Like last night he started his live at 8, then he cut it short because somebody was Grace was showing his live and he tried to pose threats to Grace to try to make it seem like he's gonna call his agency.
In his little box and say, go follow Grace, go follow Grace. So maybe that was like,
Yeah, he did good, Shay. And that's the thing. Grace had more views than he did.
That's why he ended his live and restarted it because he was looking at Grace live and Grace numbers. So then once he realized he couldn't do nothing with that agency scare, he ended his live and then went back live again around like 10 something, I think.
his agency.
It's not an agency. Listen, I know I can literally tell y'all what agencies' protocols are. They can't get other people's page taken away. Now, yes, you might have a group of people or a group of mods that you use to go spam somebody's page, right? But anybody can have that group that just go spam a bunch of pictures. I can tell you the 3 major things that you can, get somebody page taken down with, and all it takes is about 3 or 4 strikes from a couple people to take their whole page. Especially like if I put the name in the agency, like if like on my main page, my 35K page, if I tell people on my 35K page to go hit this account, these are higher people that got like 100 and something K followers, almost 1 million K followers, whatever the case may be, they'll get results. You get what I'm saying? But him telling somebody that he can get their page taken, you're lying. The agent will tell you, hey, we're a live agent. You know what a live agent means? That's why they tell you they're live agents, because they can only monitor your live. They can only protect your live. They can't protect your pages from posts or if the strikes and stuff like that, they can't protect your page from that. Agent can only protect your live stream. No one else's live stream, unless that person is in the agency that you're in, then they can look at that person's live stream. But to pass along somebody's information, the agent can't look them up unless they're in the agency. And that's the thing. Like, I got somebody looking into his account right now to find out what agency he's in, because I don't want to talk to him. I want to show him how TikTok really works. I want to go on backstage. I want to go on the other account. I want to find his agent and go talk to the agent and tell the agent, like, hey, this person is giving agencies a bad name. And we're already fighting to come out the bad name algorithm with agencies because there's so many crooked agencies out there, right? So if your agency is not crooked, then you shouldn't be allowing this person to put a bad name on your agency as if he's using y'all to protect him from people. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then it just shows more that he likes to hide behind everybody. So hide behind Ash, and then when Ash is working, he's gonna hide behind an agency. He just hides behind people.
Well, we didn't need an agency to take Ashley's page down. How many times?
All those pages, even his page is gonna get hit. Oh, nah. This, even if you move to the American platform, whatever you want to call it, like that, it's all the same. It's all the same. Listen, I promise you, even though there's certain things that cannot be pushed on social media, right? And it's more strict when you don't know how to maneuver around the word play, around the word game. Like, it's pretty much just a waiting game after that, waiting for that person to mess up, say the R word, say this, say that, and you spam their account, waiting for them to talk about a conversation about sex or pew pews or Uggs, and then you spam their account. That's it. It's a waiting game. Their accounts will go. Listen, I used to have it so, like, even on messy TikTok, they used to say, don't let Atlas say your name, because I promise you, if Atlas say your name, I don't know who he got behind him, but he said my name one time in the live, and the next day my page was gone. That's how scary I had people on messy TikTok. Like, they were so scared. They thought I was like the boogeyman or something. They was like, if Atlas hosts a live about you, he put like 50 posts out there about you, and then next thing you know, your account is gone. Like, that's the type of rhetoric, because it's truth. Like, when you speaking the truth, you speaking facts, people are going to go look at that and see, like, oh shit, he was right. He was right. This person scammed. A lot of people are going to step away from that because they're going to think like, oh shit, he exposed you. I ain't trying to go down with you. I ain't trying to get exposed with you. Shit, let me get away from you.
Well, the thing is, I just need to, like, he doesn't understand what comes with this after Trevino, right? So, I mean, people are going to sit there and we already have our opinions and change our mind based on what you say. So, the thing is that people need to stand up and keep reporting his ass, because he's not going to sit here and get on a platform where he has no business, first of all, because he can't handle it. He can't handle it. He shouldn't be on a platform, number one. Number two,
I'm waiting for him to pop up because I know they told him that we was doing a live over here. Where is he at?
Moms might start coming in, so like if you see Alexis, any of them, they'll usually trickle in, and then I think Sulai will go on his account and go live, and they'll start talking shit.
Well, they probably not woke yet. They probably don't wake up till like 2 o'clock, with five.
Oh no, his mods are usually up at this time because they were live.
Oh, I know the mods is around, but I'm talking about him.
Well, he might be, but his mods will host a live first about it and talk a bunch of shit. And then
Yeah, I know his mods is around. I know they watching.
yeah, let them watch. Let them watch. And we're just going to keep reporting this shit, because that's what I've been doing. I'm going to report and report and report and report and report until he's completely gone. Because you're not going to sit here and degrade women on your platform. You fuck with the wrong people. Like, he doesn't understand how big we are.
I just don't like, even if he did provide a platform for a conversation to take place, he should have just stayed neutral and let y'all ask the questions and hold the conversation how y'all want. The fact that he's trying to, act like he's the judge, the juror, the executioner on this situation. Oh, she's a model. She's this. Okay, you already chose your side. So since we drawing lines in the sand, let's keep these lines drawn. Keep that same energy. When you start getting the negative attention, when people start, whatever, keep that same energy. You know what I mean?
Exactly. What he's trying to do is change people's mind. Oh, Ashley's not really how she is online. We've been watching her 2-3 years. how long ever she's been acting a fool. That's her true colors.
Yeah, somebody tried to say like it was skits or maybe she's just doing it. I said, what? Who you know that is going to not buy their kids a bed for skits? Who you know is going to put their kids through, whatever, and like the whole playing with herself online, the whole rose thing, showing her nipples, all of that stuff. That's skits. No, that's skin.
For a while, we know. And then recently, her disgusting ass, like she was like she tried to pretend like she was on her live with her ugly boyfriend on the side or wherever the hell he is.
Who, Renee?
And then she posted she's showing supposed pictures, and then she pretends like she swiped wrong and showed a picture of herself bare ass, like.
Oh yeah, it's the Drake thing. Like, oh, show the pictures in your phone, but pretend like you accidentally showed this one.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, play that game. Like, dude, we already know you're doing this because you want a reaction.
Yeah, she wants people to see her nipples, and then she went and French kissed that girl.
She wants people to.
Listen, I think what she's doing it because she's gonna create a platform. She's gonna go on OF.
She is going to OF. She's going to OF for sure, but she's trying to get the tucks and the pools and the everything like that before she go to OF. She's trying to get her body right.
She's gonna do that, and that's why she's creating that platform because she wants people to be like, oh, she's into girls, oh, she's into this, oh, she's into that. It's all like she's selling it.
Yeah, that's why she opened up the door to try to be with a guy that's bi and then say he's saving himself for marriage. Now y'all saving yourself for when y'all body is in order or you think your body is T, and then it's probably gonna be this summer. She'll have an OF by this summer.
She's talking about she's so disgusting. Like, I mean, these are kids watching this woman. Like, she's talking about eating chocolate factory and all these disgusting things, and I'm like, you leave nothing to the imagination. You basically put everything out there, like everything. We already know everything about you. So how are you gonna say we already have like you cannot change my mindset? You cannot change my mindset of what I believe. I mean, shit, how many times your husband goes on there trying to glaze her and trying to pretend like she's a good person? You're not gonna fucking change my mind.
But you know what the crazy part is? If this was Ashley was a man doing all this, he would have been in jail a long time ago.
Exactly.
First time that Santos was a girl, and
Exactly.
if it was a boy, then they would have.
Oh yeah, y'all would have been had me locked up if I was 30 something. If I was if I 19, 20 something, y'all would have tried to get what at 20 something. But
That girl was ripping her face away from Ashley, like that's sexual assault. But because it's two women, it's okay.
if she uncomfortable, you force yourself on her.
Exactly.
It's because society makes it okay for us women, and I'm talking about women, right? I'm not talking about us here.
Hey, y'all would have canceled me if I just told y'all I had a thought of something like that. Y'all would have canceled me. He's over there thinking about young girls. Cancel him. He thinks about young girls. Cancel him.
She could make the age of consent 14 years old. She probably would go get with a 14-year-old.
Man, listen, if she was looking at a 9-year-old thinking like that, then that to me tells me everything I need to know. That means that's like a comedian. Like I just heard like a comedian say that they knew at 3 months their daughter was gonna be a hoe. I said, what? How are you even looking at your daughter at 3 months thinking some shit like that? So I know it's a comedian, I know it's for comedy, but the fact that you said some shit like that lets me know that you got a disturbed mind. So when somebody tells me that they're looking at a 9-year-old in the way of being like a man or a boyfriend to them or in a sexual way, like that's disturbing to me because at 9 years old, a girl got cooties. Like at 9 years old, you trying to build a He-Man woman hater club. You trying to build a tree house. No girls allowed. You're not thinking about nothing like that at 9 years old, maybe 13 when puberty hits or whatever. It's these older people that's looking at you and thinking like that. You ain't even thinking about what that thing do between your legs besides take a piss, right? Somebody else looking at that shit and thinking about the possibilities of it. That's sickening and disturbing, that before my mind developed to even think about the things that my body can do, you already thinking about the shit that you can do with me. Yeah, like you already thinking about what you can do with me, and I don't even know what my body capable of, but you already sitting there thinking about the shit. That's sick. To say that you gonna marry a 9-year-old, you don't even know how he about to develop. That means you thought about marrying him at his 9-year-old stature.
This is what I say, and it pisses me off, right? Like, it's society's fault too, because like now look at the baby, like little clothes that they have now. Why do little kids have crop tops at an age of like 9 years old? Like the clothes.
Man, listen, you knew the world was upside down when you seen that girl at the Nickelodeon thing, damn near butt naked, talking about big got, big got. When I seen that, I said, why is she at a SpongeBob movie premiere butt naked?
And now the 13-year-old these days are in crop tops. They don't even look 13.
Exactly.
Even look at Kai Cenat's clothing line. Kai Cenat's clothing line is an in favor. Even the name of it, it means he, she, or it, will live forever, whatever the case may be. And then you got the fashion with the see-through silk arms, and it's very like flamboyant. Right. But that's what I'm saying. Our society is selling this now. Like, you can't do nothing. Society is selling this image to us to where as though it's kind of like putting it in. It's not like they're telling you or teaching you to advance your mind and your sexual preferences, right? It's not like they're teaching you like, hey, stretch marks should look sexy now as you get older. They're not telling you nothing like that. They're not telling you that your mind should be changing, the way you view the body of a woman as you get older. No, they telling you to opt out, just like a car. You know what I mean? You got this old model, opt out. Get you a newer, younger model. You can put more mileages on it. Like, that's how they looking at people now. They're not looking at people as if to say like your mind should be advancing with your development. No, they looking at people like, hey, get you a young, scrapping young thing that you can put more mileage on, and don't worry about, they're looking at 40 going into 20 a lot better than 20 going into 40. And women got the advantage in that, because I'm pretty sure a 20-year-old young thing can go into 40 a lot better than a 40-year-old man can go into a 20-year-old. You know what I mean? Like, so 20 go better and that's the concept that they're selling you right now, is the way that she's going about it, 37 years old, being with these 19-year-olds. There's nothing wrong with that, right? And then you go further, you go deeper and deeper down the age. Now it's like, well, I know where to go if I'm a minor attracted person. I know who pays to go to.
Exactly.
That's like a shopping mall over there for them.
Hey, can I ask you a question? Is there any way we can, so we don't look like we're being just women up here, is there any way we can let one of the guys up here so they can kind of talk about
How? The guys gotta come up. I don't know how to get a guy to come up with you.
try to come up, and I don't know if they requested.
How? Nobody's in the request box. If they request to come up, they're coming up, guy or girl, but nobody's in the. You want me to just pick a random guy to request?
Crispy tried to come up. I don't know if he did it on accident, but come up to Crispy.
Who? He can come up. Whoever can come up. They're not coming up. Crispy. I don't see no Crispy. Cricket, Rolf. I don't know. They gotta hit the button and come up. I can't.
Do you have mods in here?
Nope.
If you need someone, could help you.
I'm scared of mods. No, you laughing. I'm serious. I'm scared of mods. It's like once you get mods, right? And then people know that they're your mods, then people start saying, like, I seen your mod over in such and such room doing this, and I seen your mod over in such and such room doing that. And then the next thing you know, so many people coming at you for how your mods operate, and you're like, yo, I'm not my mods. My mods are allowed to go wherever they want. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know that you like as a you know, whatever, you're supposed to have a certain level of control over your mind or whatever, but I don't like controlling people like that. I feel like, you know, if you're an adult and you are a mod for somebody, you're gonna conduct yourself how you gonna conduct yourself. Like, it's the same thing I say to my mods on YouTube. Like, they be like, oh, Atlas Mods was over here, or you know, whatever the case may be, and they be trying to come back at me for shit that my mods are individual people. If they wanted to come watch your content and talk shit to you, that's what they did. Like, don't come back to me and say your mods was in my comment section talking shit. Cause I'm gonna talk shit to you too now, because now, you know what I'm saying? It's the internet, you know. Stop trying to hold people to whatever. Like, in my room, in my space, yes, I can say, mods, can you please conduct yourself this way? But once I'm not doing a live, or once they not on my page, you can't tell me I still got to have a level of control over how they go about their scrolling on TikTok. Yeah, that shit don't make no sense. Oh, remember what you guys represent now. No, go get shit. I'm going to convince my mods to go out there and start more shit. Go out there on everybody's page and talk your shit.
Well, see, that's how I am. I talk my shit, so I can't be your mod. Sorry, I'll get you in trouble.
Me neither, sorry.
Shit, y'all don't even know. I'm on YouTube. You don't know. I got a whole sister wives club on YouTube. Y'all better stop playing. Y'all don't even know what type of door y'all opened up. Like, I'm on YouTube. I got sister wives on YouTube. I had 28 sister wives causing havoc over on YouTube. Well, people were just mad that they were just, you know, because we were so, you know, connected or whatever. They said he got 28 sister wives.
Just like the fact that you came on here and you got to hear everybody's side, like, you know what I mean? Like, you started off like, look, I'm here, and then you did your research on Ashley. So
I think we owe it to ourselves to that. If you're an influencer, if you're going to be an influencer, if you're going to be a content creator, you owe it to yourself to do the research before you can state your opinion, before you can say before you choose like how you want to go about your podcast or your live, whatever you want to host. You want to make sure you get the information first, right? I refuse to sit up on this panel and say that I don't know nothing about the topic that I'm discussing. So what the hell is you discussing it for?
I gotta ask, like, did you enjoy looking at her? Like, what was the most horrifying thing you found?
When you say, like, what was the most horrifying thing?
Yeah, like when you were looking, like,
I think because I know so much of like the dark stuff that actually goes on about kids being sold into rings, and you know this, you know, when I seen it, I think the most disturbing was the fact that this is opening up the door for something like that. We already got our youth being tricked on roadblocks and everything like that. You got Chris Hansen with To Catch a Predator out there, so on and so forth. So I think the most disturbing part was the fact that, you know, the age, you know, the fact that, you know, my son's just turned 18. You know, my oldest son is 19 years old now. You know, he can run into a person like this, you know, and
exactly.
to think that, you know, not to think that they're in the world, we know they're in the world, right? But to think that society is more accepting to this type of person than a heterosexual man that just wants to see, you know, the world in a righteous place, right? So this lets you know that monsters run the world, because how is we more accepting to this behavior where we don't question it, but we question somebody who stands against this behavior?
Exactly.
That's scary to me, that the world will protect this behavior, but don't protect the righteous act.
And people think we go like stalk Ashley and all this information, find out just to, you know, be a hater. No, we're moms. We have kids.
No, I'm stalking Ashley now. I'm a dad. I got boys. She's preying on our youth. If you got a kid out there in the world, this is what you don't want your kid to run into. Because she gonna get your kid to do all types of drugs, all types of stuff. Next thing you know, they got fingers in their butt. You don't know what's going on.
Have you seen, there's a video out where Ashley was at a party and it was Ray and all of these younger men, she walks in the room and offers them pills, and then they put it on mute.
That's what I'm saying. So you can imagine the atmosphere that she's opening up that door. She's gonna get you. She's the one that your parents told you to look out for when you was a kid. That adult that was buying the drinks for the underage kid. She's that one.
And that's what I'm saying. Have you seen that movie, Mom? She's like her. She buys underage kids drinks just to be hanging out with them.
That's what I'm saying. She's that disturbing person. Like, to me, that's more scarier than anything. You know what I mean? That's more scarier than anything.
Like all these young guys that she's like, remember the 20 versus whatever crap that she did? All those kids were young. Not only that, but remember chairs when she was sitting right next to chairs and he was so uncomfortable with her.
That's what I was gonna go look at, that 20v1 that she did. Because why did they have all those young kids at her 20v1 like that? Like she was 20 years old. It wasn't an older person in sight. Sickening.
High school. That's what I'm saying. Like, girl, like you, it's like it's so like disturbing. Like
that's why I can't wait for Trump to open back up these mental hospitals, because we need to put them in there, man. That's why I can't wait for Trump to open. Oh shit!
Baby, you know,
Click on my own live. Hold on, I'm
she
sorry.
was in there yesterday. She went in the panel last night, because I was in a panel last night, just shooting the shit, and she went in there with her little so-called man, because he's a little man. A little man went in there, and so did she, trying to troll. I'm like, girl, come on.
I think it's funny like that she didn't even realize the lies that she got caught up on in the interview. Like that's probably what it's like. She didn't even realize the lies, the downfall. That's worse than you thought. Okay, yeah, let's listen to this. So like she didn't even realize like the way that the interviewer was catching her up in her lies and contradiction her, like when she said you raised her kids, she raised her kids since birth and all of that, and then she was like, well, it looks like your kids was with your mom. And I was like, damn, she's like calling her on her bullshit right there, like saying like, oh, you let your kids around this, you let your kids around that, and then like called her on her bullshit right there. I was like, okay. Perez Hilton disappointed me. You think? I'm telling you, man.
For you, we did like a show with Netflix.
Hold on, let me see something.
I do have Netflix coming out, but it's in the works right now.
What's the Netflix show going to be living with Ash Trevino?
I can't tell you that. I literally just signed that.
Got that Ash Trevino song out.
Did she get the Netflix show, or did they snatch it away?
Now Cassandra has a master.
Yeah, they were just messing with her. They were trying to troll her.
It was a prank.
Oh shit! So she fell for the prank of a call.
Yeah. But then she tried
Wow.
to say it was real and went on with it, telling people, oh, it's in the works. And then
Right.
say
Telling
it's a prank.
that's what that was about. Okay.
That was so funny when that happened. I was laughing so hard because everybody knew that it was a lie.
That's crazy.
Everybody but her, and she went on.
I can't tell you that. I listen.
That was hysterical.
Hold on, let me flip the camera so you guys can see it. All right, so this is how we're watching it over on YouTube. As you can see, I'll take my down one time. I'll take my backdrop off just so y'all can see the setup. So this is us watching it over on YouTube. As you can see, I got the YouTube set up, Twitch set up, right? So this is how, exposure actually works, right? Not none of that poppycock bullshit that you see DJ doing over there with I gotta send it to such and such, and then they gotta play it because it keeps skipping and cutting out on. No, show us what the hell we want to see, right? So look at how young that person is. He ain't trying to be the Kermit the Frog to this. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Kermit. You know what I'm saying? He not trying to be the Kermit. But this is why I say, like, the internet got people gassed up, making them think that they famous and important and all of this. She really was
Literally
like,
just signed that.
Oh, so what happened to that Netflix show, by the way? Let's talk about it.
Why not?
So are
look,
you like flying to California to do your documentary, or?
the
Worry
lies.
about it. You want to be in it?
The truth is, no shade, just context. Cassandra Bowman is just a TikTok crank caller. Like,
See, no, this is what I'm saying. Like, but for the sake of it, for the sake of the internet, they'll drag it out like that. Look at the youth, the young people that she was with. This is why they're pushing her. This is why her content is getting pushed. It's because of the minor infatuation.
bit of an indication that maybe the pH balance is off because something is help.
And how did he not do the research?
Something's wrong with you.
Look,
She then goes on to talk about some sort of credit card fraud. And
these are the
she went to
people who
video.
interviewed her. These are the people who interviewed her, the people who talked to her and came to the realization this person is sick. This person. So how didn't DJ come to that realization yet? These are podcasters, you know, people who was in contact with her, people who got videos sent from her, everything like that. I'm not looking at the year. I'm not looking at like how old it is or when it was, right? I'm looking at in a lump, right? If someone's going to platform this person, right, you gonna go do the history of this person. If y'all came to me and said, hey, try to get Ash on your platform, right, I would first do my due diligence to learn about the person that y'all telling me to get on my platform, right? That's what we're talking about. The lack of, you know, work that he did before taking this she's a model, she's this, he thought that he was going to be in the Netflix special with her.
He looked on all her fan pages to find out information instead of the real pages, the hate pages.
He was trying to get in that Netflix special. He was trying to be, you know,
He couldn't do the negative crap because Ash wasn't going to come in there, and his page was dying. His page was terrible.
He had no views.
So he and so you're all right, well, I have to kiss her butt to get what I want.
and he did. He puckered them lips up nicely. I'm surprised. Like, luckily, she's not into like his age bracket of people or whatever the case may be, because she probably would have threw something at him.
So the Netflix thing was a prank too, but what about when she came up with the whole she was gonna have a billboard too?
Well, because she ran with the lie after it got out there and people started asking her, she ran with the lie and then tried to further advance the lie. It only take about 5,000 to actually get a billboard put up, you know.
Even with the prank, when the dude came out and said it was a prank, she was still running with it, saying, "Oh no, it's true."
Yeah, because she don't gotta convince the people who knows it's a prank. All she gotta do is keep lying to her audience. The audience is so you gotta think about it. If all 31 of the people in here decided that what I was saying was wrong, all I gotta do is reset my live and try to get a fresh 31 in here and block the 31 that already said I was wrong. That's what they're doing over there. They're blocking anyone that's against them and just getting the new numbers to come in that don't know that they're on bullshit time, right? So the internet provides you with unlimited opportunity to get the next person. So the next person that comes in might not know that it's kind of like what I just did when I ran across it. Like, damn, she's got Netflix coming out because I only heard half of it, right? So I'm a sucker because I only listened to half of it and I assumed that she had a Netflix coming out, right? So you can imagine how many people out there is only doing half of the work, thinking that this person is somebody and got a Netflix coming out and they need to stay close to them. How many people want to know somebody famous in their life? A lot. How many people want to say that they was there from day one and watched her come up from the beginning? A lot. How many people just hit the follow button so they can say, I follow that girl? A lot.
That's why Fester is with her now. He literally said she's a celebrity. He said, if you go out with her and she gets noticed, that means she's a celebrity.
Exactly.
The only time she gets noticed is because people want to beat her ass.
And the only people that's with her is the people that want that status. He with her because he can say he's with a celebrity. You know, I dated a celebrity. You know that I dated an influencer.
Sends me a
I think Festa is the same as Ash. He has accusations also as the same as Ash.
Birds of a feather.
His ex-wife came out and said something about a minor, which occurred.
It was her niece, yeah.
Yeah, it was her niece. So they both in the same. He's like her. That's why they get along. And he's just
Well, they got the right one today, because look, you see, I got business cards, This is legit. Like, I got business cards, you know what I mean? So they not messing with like an amateur today. Like, today, we gonna make sure that the right people hear what they need to hear. I got business cards, social media management, so on and so forth. That ain't even like, that's just one business card. Like, I got business cards. You know what I mean? Multiple cards, multiple business cards. But neither here nor there, right? This is what I'm saying. Like, social media gives you an opportunity to meet people, help people, depending on how you want to go about it. You could choose to help people on here and help them with the algorithms. Like, DJ is somebody who, went out and found out some stuff about some stuff and then act like he was the man behind a lot of that stuff. He goes out and listen to people who tells you about TikTok, and then he goes and make it seem like he's got an agency and he's this. So the fact that the one thing that catches me is when somebody say, let me call my agent. If you're an agent and you have people up under you, then you shouldn't need to call your agent. You should be able to go do this stuff yourself. You should be able to go to backstage yourself. You should be able to go to the page yourself, TikTok backstage, and get that person account taken if you're an agent. The fact that you say you got to call somebody is fraudulent within itself. That means you don't do none of the work yourself. Let me contact this person. You so fake. Do it yourself. Do it yourself. You doxing people yourself. You trying to put people information in other people's comment section in order to try to pose a threat to people. You know what I mean? Do some shit yourself. That's why I'm here, to make sure that y'all can talk about what y'all want to talk about without the interferences of hustlers like DJ. No, come talk to me. Come talk to me, DJ.
And
That's what we around for. We around so we can have these conversations with one another. Don't try to sit there and talk to ladies and try to talk down to them and all of that. No, come talk to me, DJ. Please. I would love to have a conversation with DJ Hustle, aka I'm a member of the Rough Riders gang. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about no Rough Riders drink, none of that shit. You a fraud, you a fake, a pussy, a snake, a phony, a fan. I still whoop your ass. You 36 in the karate class, you Taibo ho, trying to break it out, you trying to get brolic. Ask me if I'm trying to kick knowledge. Nah, I'm trying to kick the shit you need to learn, though. That ether, that shit that made your soul burn slow. That's what I'm trying to do. Come holler at me, somebody who is well equipped with the tongue. I'm adequate with this shit. I know that our deepest fear is not that we are I know our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measures. And when we allow ourselves to stand in our light, we subconsciously allow other people to stand in their light. So why the fuck is you blocking people from standing or being in their light? Because you a demon. And it's your time is up, demon. I need you to come holler at me. I'm going to come to your page anyway, so it ain't like you going to duck. I'm going to show people that you duck real smoke, because when I come over there, I'm going to show you how fast you get me blocked. Because as soon as I come over there, your mods is going to let you know I'm in there. They'll go that one guy. You going to pump fake for the page. Yeah, bring him up here. Bring him up here. Bring him up here. And then as soon as I get up there, you're going to block me or get me off the panel and make it seem like I ran so you can talk your shit. I know your game already. We done did it already. And please don't do that whole look me up. Let's meet somewhere. If you want to get physical, go to my page. I'm not funny body built. I bench press 315, and I'll gladly get in the ring with you. So don't do all that Tony the Tiger shit and make it seem like you physically can take me. I'm 6'5". I weigh 210. I'm not funny body built like a fucking athlete, and I will jab your head off. So don't take it to physical. Keep that shit TikTok. Keep that shit TikTok. The moment you try to talk about physical, this it, you better go look at my page. You better go look. I'm not no funny body built. I'm not built funny. I'm not scared to show myself on here. See, you out of shape. I can tell you out of shape. You ain't lifting too much weight. I could tell by the way your arms shake. You know what I mean? You ain't doing too much, DJ. So you really don't want to get into no physical altercation with a nigga like me, because I'm waiting for one of y'all to pop up in the physical. I'm waiting for one of y'all to do that pull up shit. I'm waiting for one of y'all to tell me to pull up. I'm doing it. I want to see what y'all niggas really, I want to see if y'all really about that physical shit that y'all say y'all about. Like, I really want to get in the ring with a lot of you TikTokers that be on here, you know, stepping on women, like trying to put women down, degrade women, all that shit. I really want to start like a TikTok boxing club to see if y'all really about that physical shit that y'all say y'all about. He know what he gonna do. Straight pussy shit. Just so he can try to talk shit about somebody with nobody around.
We got a baby to make. We are literally gonna try and get me pregnant.
Look, see, this is she planning to have a baby with a man she don't even know. Literally trying to get her pregnant. This was last year's stuff.
So Ash basically
The first month he home.
have an impact whatsoever.
How don't nobody see this? This shit is sickening and disturbing.
Literally money tips, hyping her up in the comments. They're literally the reason Ash does this all the time, and her daughters are subjected to it all the time. And it just, they're the ones who are in the middle of it, right? If Ash didn't have so many people watching, she'd probably stop. Maybe? Because really though, what is the draw of watching this? It is a train wreck on the Hot Mess Express. And the thing is, as we continue to put our critical thinking caps on, there are a million reasons why people are attracted to this kind of profane content, actually. In an article from Very Well Mind, quote, social comparison theory suggests that people value their personal and social worth by assessing how they compare to others. And in particular, downward social comparisons are when we compare
that's why we have a downward social comparison, because we're not comparing ourselves to people that's doing better than us. We're comparing ourselves to people that's doing worse than us as a way to making ourselves feel better. So when you see people like this growing in numbers, it's because more people would rather see somebody doing worse than them make it, you know, as opposed to seeing people doing better than them, because that makes me have to step it up, right? Let's give this to, let's put the image out there, because it makes me feel good to see people doing worse. It's kind of like that pretty girl who always hang around the ugly girl just so her pretty can stand out more. And we got a lot of them in this world.
You know what video you should look at? It's the Rotten Mango podcast, and it's the worst TikTok mom, and that girl, she like says everything about Ashley.
I think someone's already doing that later on, so I don't want to step on their toes. I think I heard what'd you say? It's Rotten what? Okay, yeah, I think someone's going. We'll probably be watching this on somebody else's page. I know that somebody else that was talking about it yesterday said that this was the next one that. Yeah, I was just refraining from saying her name because I already know how DJ Hustle is right now. So I was just refraining from saying Quantum's name. But yeah, so someone else is already going to do this, and we'll watch it with them, and then I'll, you know, maybe do what you call on it. TikTok worst mom loves to date killers in prison and makes daughters call them daddy. Oh my God. Is that this is the one you're talking about, right?
You can take. I mean, it is the place to breed against. That is friend.
Oh shit! This is the one.
I want to say she is constantly live streaming. It's like being a CCTV camera on her phone, just a wall camera, a fly on the wall.
How old are her kids?
She is 36. She has two daughters that are 16 and 13. And she believes that the internet is
This is the one you're talking about, right?
Ashley addresses this in a live stream saying,
Okay.
Really trying to get my kids taken from me, and it's not gonna happen. Do you know how many CPS cases I've had on me in the last 4 months? And I still have to do my kids? Like, if you don't understand, when you call CPS, you have to have actual proof that they.
All right, yeah. So we probably watched that. That seemed like see because a lot of people ain't playing that pussyfoot thing like DJ is trying to cater to her. There's a lot of platforms that's not, platforming her because of her image and how she's going about it. He might be one of the last platforms that she can perform on. A lot of podcasters are trying to get her up there so they can expose her. He's the only one that's catering and kissing, her butt.
And that's hard. He's going hard for her too. Like, it's horrible.
Yeah, but that's what happens. Like, some of these people want to put themselves next to infamous people so they can gain the fame from it. And then it's just like Christian Rock's fan club, or anybody else's. Once they attach themselves to that character too much, they can't, because all his numbers came in from supporting her. So he can't turn around and say he don't support her now, because how many people going to leave his page? If he's over there already, siding with her, then that means the numbers that he's coming in, that he got coming in, is people that agree with him, right? Now you might have started off talking about this with 10K or less, but you got 8,000 new followers since you started talking about Ash. You can't go back now. So his page is going to go with her. You know what I mean? When she's off, he's off. You know what I mean? Because that's the only place that she don't have that many more places that she can go and be about her bullshit. So I got to try to make a run out somewhere real quick and then come back. So I'm gonna end this, but I'm gonna try to catch some other lives later and guess on some other people's panels that's talking about it or whatever. But I will go live again later about it. I got to find out what some other people are doing. I don't know what lives y'all might be holding, but I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna pop up in a couple of them. Just trying to give everybody else a chance to get up. It's early. I usually take the early morning shift. Early bird gets the worm, however you want to look at it. But I know, around what they say, prime time TV, around time when people get home from work, 6 o'clock, everybody get the kids fed and out the way. I know y'all gonna be sitting here waiting for the gossip shit to start, and I'm gonna be right here waiting with y'all. I'm gonna be siphoning and jumping through pages. I'm waiting for DJ Hustle to go live. I'm waiting for you to go live. I want a conversation with you expeditiously. And if any of his mods in here, y'all make sure y'all tell him that I want a conversation with him, and I'm not gonna stop until I get the conversation with him. Y'all got him ducking, got him, answering all these women questions like he's somebody special and shit, but ain't pointing him in the direction of a man. Nah, fuck that. Talk to me. Talk to me, my boy. Talk to me. You ducking deep voices. You ducking masculine voices. All that shit get nipped in the butt, put you right in your place. I turn your ass around so tough, you fuck around and call me daddy on the line. Yes, daddy. I mean, yeah. Put your ass right in your place. I know you waiting for a man to come along and put you in your place. Just like all these other women, they like it when they say, you right, I was being bad, I was being naughty. He just like that. He wants somebody to come in. Oh, he put me in my place. Ooh, daddy. Yeah. I know. That's that feminine energy inside you want to get chastised, get put back in your place. Yeah. I know. DJ Feminine. Yeah, I'm waiting for him to pop up. I want him to pop up over here or neutral. I don't want to do it on his page because I know they just gonna block me and get me up out of there. I know. I want to do it on a page where you can't block and you can't, you know what I mean? Neutral page. Probably Quantum's page, but he ain't gonna come to Quantum's page because he's too scared. He thought she didn't have nobody that was looking out. Yeah, that's the problem with these people. They think that they don't. Oh, he look at y'all numbers and he said, y'all ain't got nobody looking out for y'all. Y'all ain't got nobody. That's where you're wrong. I know a lot of people on these platforms. I know a lot of, people who got over 100K followers, a lot, so we're gonna see. We're gonna see. I'm gonna show y'all. I guarantee you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna contact Miss Nietzsche, put his ass in Miss Nietzsche court. You want to be messy TikTok? I got some old friends that's a part of messy TikTok, and they gonna eat that. Listen, if you think what he's going through now, wait until I pass him to the bloggers on messy TikTok and they take off from there. Watch and see what I tell y'all. But in the meantime, in between time, if nobody told y'all that they love y'all, let me be the first and not the last to say I love you. One's image of oneself should be greater than reality. Don't let nobody tell you that you aren't great, because you are. Y'all know what we do over here on the Atlas page.
We've been journeying in the wrong direction this whole time. We've been journeying outside of ourselves. Why?
Rough to wise, talk to him.
It's been a long time on here pushing out knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
We come with our own
This is
music.
the year right here.
We're on Spotify. We just do our own music. We're on Spotify. We're on.
There's something inside of us.
Got our own music.
We got to do better collectively,
All the music you
right? Energy. Go within. There's something inside of us. We got to do better collectively, Energy. The first stage is realizing that you are. That's the first step. Confront yourself. Realizing that you are. Energy. It's been a long time.